play through Summer Series 1, 2, and the playoffs. He's never touched that champion in the mid lane since we've seen him. He's really kind of floored by that because he likes things like Zirene. He likes the wave clear, and then he loves assassins like Zed and Yasuo.
Yeah.
And I was really taken aback by that because it has no wave clear against the Ziggs, which was first picked, and that really just stymied their whole strategy, and they still ban out Ziggs, which means they aren't going to first pick it this game.
Auto champ for LoL. They do keep the Trist ban, though. Sheep still is not going to get Thresh. I think that is one ban that should never go away here. That's when I first picked that. Lucian actually so well respected by Coast. They ban it away from Signature. Haunter, though, gonna first pick the Nidalee. He's like, hey, you know what, Rux? You can play at that game.
Ooh, and if they pick up this Yasuo for Golden Glue, that's going to be huge. All right, so
wow.
Golden Glue, I actually have some notes on him. If he picks up Yasuo, he'll push hard, and they'll usually make the composition around him with at least 1 or 2 knockups. And if he gets behind, he goes to a frozen side lane and just free farms. They have strategies that revolve around Golden Glue in the mid lane on Yasuo.
Well, we're going to see then how well Golden Glue's Yasuo does right here. You're seeing it on your screen right there. Beautiful golden hair. Helps you recognize that it's actually him there.
No, man, I recognize him by his glue.
He's not... okay.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, I didn't
right?
get that one at
cool.
all.
Well, how's it feel, Phreak, having nonsensical stuff thrown at you?
Whatever mind makes sense, you think about it. And now Zillion does come back down, though. Patoy still wanting this champion here on LoL Pro. Signature going to re-up on Corki, though. You put the Lucian banned. Nami comes back through. Now a Lulu does come in, so there's the 2 knockups getting added there. Top lane Lulu versus Nidalee, and the Nami support against Zillion again.
Yeah, they will usually combine, like I said, this Yasuo with 2 knockups. And there they are. There's actually 3, but 2 champions, 2 sources.
Yep.
They're good to go here, and they can pick whatever they want as their AD carry. It could be the... I mean, they could throw in another one.
Draven, Quinn.
Be like, yeah. Trist is banned away, so none of that.
Yep.
But on LoL's Pro side, they still go with the Zillion bot lane here for Patoy.
Interesting. Want to see what else they grab, though, for themselves. They need a mid laner and a jungler. Kha'Zix pretty likely here, and the Zed could be a whole bunch of fun.
I think he's going to go for it.
All right, so LoL Pro running a very similar comp, except for the fact that now Zed is in the mid lane to replace Ryze, and Haunter has his turn on Nidalee. These tweaks they think is enough to win in this game here in Game 2. A lot of Zed's going to be fun. Yeah,
Zed has a pretty good matchup, too, against Yasuo early on, and then when they hit level 6s, Zed definitely has more power in a one-on-one than Yasuo does. They both can get away from ganks, they both have gank assistance in a way, slow from Zed, but they're good to go here. And Laud, last time we saw him play the Zed, was a highlight reel.
Yeah.
He was 2v1ing and coming out on top.
And he, man, honestly, he's a great player there. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm actually surprised as well to see that Mash has gone for Kog'Maw here because, yeah, I think it's going to be tricky. For me, when I play up against Zed, I like to play Vayne because it's so easy to outplay the 1v1. I'm just not sure who can handle Laud in a one-on-one. If Pro do have that as a fallback pattern for late game, if they do manage to get the split push Zed going, I want to know who from Coast can actually handle that. Yeah,
I don't know. This is actually Mash's first Kog'Maw game, too, all summer long.
Yeah.
And Mash is a player that we have seen before in spring. And he was in this exact position, 3rd, 4th place match alongside Rux when they were both on Curse Academy. They've been in this high-pressure situation, and they've lost before. But now they've come back and tried to, you know,
make it happen.
Change their efforts, I guess.
Well, so far, so far, honestly, Mash has been pretty well reported. He's up 1-0 in this series, a very strong first game as well. So I think they've got to feel confident going in. We'll see if LoL Pro can shock that away from them, though. Now that Team Coast leads 1-0 in this best of 5, who do you guys think is going to take the series? Tweet, again, your vote to @LOL Esports. Use either hashtag ProWin or hashtag CSTWin. We'll tally the votes again in just a few minutes. I'll give you a second chance.
No.
85%.
Not going to play this game.
Right.
85.
Up or down? They've already they won game 1 already.
That is actually, you picked some good numbers.
Yeah.
To take a guess off of. Ooh,
Are you going to play now?
I will play. I'm a gambling man. I'll probably lose again, but I'm going to say 85%.
Over, under?
Over. I'll say over. I'll say over.
I think you made the right choice there. Here we go. Team LoL Pro in the blue trunks now. Can they turn it around for themselves? 15 seconds into the game. Looking at the players down on the screen. And Laud, the Zed, I think he is the guy to watch in this game. Longsword 3 up against a Yasuo. Mid lane convert, saying that there were not enough good mid laners in North America. He took up the mantle. See if we can put LoL Pro on his back right now. Meanwhile, though, Team Coast still look, they've got like they've got an incredibly good team composition here. Plenty of late game, plenty of good team fighting. We'll see if LoLPro can split them up.
It's the same jungle matchup too, so the pressure here, what's going to happen between these two guys throughout the early mid game, around your second buff times, if everything just goes standard.
Ooh. Well, fair bit of damage being dealt right now. Rux on a 250 health. Hanser trying to get the chase. Javelin comes out. He's going to land. And the flash takedown. The one-on-one kill 1 minute into the game. Hanser, first pick Nidalee working out.
That first pick, that priority they put on the Nidalee is showing up right there. The chunking, the bonus damage from On the Hunt coming up huge, and now he's going to have that edge in the lane, and there really isn't any time to pull off a lane swap just yet because they're keeping tabs on each other.
I can't believe that really just happened, but Rux honestly gave away that kill for free. He flashed late, Javelin hit, and Hanser's already looking pretty happy there. Trinket Ward will spot that LoLPro are starting red buff for themselves, and we will also spot that regular lanes are coming out.
And now the vote's going to swing below 85% because of that. We didn't never. Just kidding.
Hey man, we're going to see what we got here. I don't know, at the same time though, 1 minute 55 in, buff spawning up. We have ourselves the start of the game. Now that was an unassisted kill. That is 325 gold tilting 1 lane, and it was all spent on consumables. So Hanser, that advantage basically has already been spent. And you gotta see what happens after this.
He does have the opportunity to pull it off again if he does land some early spears. He will hit level 2 earlier as well.
That's what he got it.
If he lands a spear, there's no flash.
There's a spear. There's the jump. There's the takedown. 1/3 health off.
Rux is out of potions already. He's used
with his
both
one. He used one in the level 1.
Yeah.
He's the other already.
He's used both of them.
And look at this. Lod now does equal the levels of golden glue. Broke through the shield, and I want to see how the CS game keeps on going. I feel like it's a decent spot for Zed.
These are both
see how it plays out.
Players who are very practiced on both these assassins. Here's the thing. True. Remember Golden Glue. Hark back to the days before he was on Dignitas and played Orianna and just showed off with that. He was an assassin player. Complexity Red.
Yep. Akali.
Skyline.
Yep.
Just always playing the Akali, always playing the assassins that he can get his hands on. And now he's going back to his roots for this extremely important matchup here in this best of 5. We're going to have an explosive game here. Squishies are not safe.
No.
Ah!
I mean, pretty much everyone is squishy.
LoLPro win, actually.
Thank you, Twitter.
That's pro win.
There you go. Ooh. Twitter's on my side here.
I know. That first blood play, though, I mean,
that was awesome.
I would vote for pro win after I saw that, just out of principle. Because
Caster's
it was such a
curse.
I know. You know, every time I say a percentage,
it will be wrong. Yep. Mash and Sheep, they're going for the fight. Good fossil bomb from Zig, going to force him back. There time bomb as well from Patoy. Looks like actually the trades are being won by LoLPro, and Sheep is basically out of mana right now. But the title, ooh. Good Valkyrie use, but however, there's a gigantic minion lead right now for Coast. Zig taking even more damage. He's down to 200 HP off of level 3. He's 1 hit from dead.
Ooh, the level 3 coming out there for Coast gave him that extra push advantage, and they shoved it. They did exactly what you should do. You hit 3, and you continue to keep the pressure on before they hit 3 at the same time.
Yeah. And look at that, forced to recall.
Ooh.
On a 10 minion deficit. Double Doran's, not even potions here for Signature.
Santorin running by Heaven Time's line of sight. They could collapse on him here. They have the slow.
Oh, they go right in on Santorin. Good damage dealt. They jump over the wall to chase in. Flash rated down. Santorin out of health. Lod wants to get some more damage on the Golden Glue. And what a good start for LoLPro.
Santorin walking straight by the Fog of War. The Kha'Zix hidden inside there for some extra isolation damage.
So right now we've got a very interesting situation where top lane is very much the Hanser show. Mid lane's pretty equal, but bot lane is all about Mash and Sheep right now. So you've got different sides of the map doing wildly different things.
Yeah, and the big implication of that little jungle skirmish is that Heaven Time now has an advantage with that flash over Santorin. Santorin has to go farm his jungle. He was low on HP. He knows that he can't bully Heaven Time right now. And there is also the possibility that Heaven Time goes and invades him. So he's not going to be aggressive for about 40 seconds now. But his timing window is, I need to get Sightstone before 7 minutes so that I can put wards in the enemy jungle for the second round of buffs.
Well, that'll be a big timer for Santorin if he can do it. Sightstone's picked up 5 minutes in. Life's good if you're Team Coast then. 600 gold, though, puts LoLPro ahead, so the overall laning phase power is actually continuing to swing their way.
Heaven Time camping this mid. He is putting a lot of focus onto Lod and not this bottom lane, and there he goes.
Golden Glue thankfully had a minion to jump to and got away without burning anything for himself. is, by the way, running Exhaust mid lane to deal with Lod.
Ooh, this is big too. Heaventime showed himself, and all he had was a Hunter's Machete, which means his back timer is coming out now. So Santorin, he has free reign to go put some wards down, but he opts instead to just go clear the jungle because he has some decent coverage.
Oh, good whimsy though by Rux. Hanser's slow in turret range. He's so close to dead. He pulls aggro again, and down he goes. Rux level 6 wins the duel under the turret.
I don't know why he took so many turret shots there. He walked back into range.
I think he couldn't win without landing a Q, and the minions were going to surround him. If he walked back, he dies to minion damage. I think he was screwed at that point. Once the whimsy landed, it was over.
Hypothetical situation. Flash, throw the spear. Boom. He's good.
I mean, I think the best idea was to not run back into turret range, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What a whimsy.
Yeah, definitely. Right here. He still had flash available to him.
Forward.
Yep. He still had flash available to him, but hindsight's 20/20.
Yep.
And it would have been another flashy play, but
oh, a lot of damage on the Zig, though, man. He's already been taking so much damage. Does have his summoners up, but you've seen Mash and Sheep really destroy this matchup. Still a 10 CS lead, and it's only going to grow.
Yeah, and here's the thing in that top lane is that there's a big CS lead here for Hanser that he's created with that first pick Nidalee and the pressure he got off that first blood. Now, we're going to see that kind of equalize over time because Rux is back into this game with extra Dorans and extra early stats with the gems.
Yeah, so that's his second forced recall, though, already, meaning there's going to be a gigantic XP lead. He's taking inefficient recalls, so Mash and Sheep are going to be up in experience overall, up more gold every time they back up, and I just think the lane's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah, and Hanser, he definitely has to stop with that over-aggression if LoL Pro wants to keep using whatever lead they had. It's pretty much gone now.
Yeah, exactly. We're at a 100 gold game in this one. A lot in Golden Glue still just trading favors, but the thing is you still got such great late game from Team Coast. You picked Nidalee to be a lane bully. You picked Corki to be a lane bully. Lanes aren't getting bullied anymore.
Yeah. No real jungle pressure this game either. All junglers have 0 assists and kills. And Santorin, he hit 6 before Heaventime did, and Heaventime's actually doing his second buff, where Santorin's wrapping around. Here comes the pressure.
Mid lane, nice
wow.
ulti in from Zed, but the exhaust gonna trade back. Now can Lod get away? Pops the ulti. Absolute Zero might make this happen. Golden Glue's so low on health, so he cannot re-engage against Lod. No, Heaventime pops ulti. Can he reach this? Looks like not. Just the wave clear.
And now he's gonna hold this mid lane at the same time, whereas Santorin is gonna go do the blue. They're actually gonna clear out another wave.
This is actually really smart, though. If you do have control, you clear the wave to get an even safer recall. We're going to get plenty of golden XP. Only Santorin getting XP is going to make Golden Glue suffer underneath Lod there.
Yeah, it's going to hold Santorin mid as well. So he can't go roam, he can't go counter jungle, he can't even do his own blue at this moment.
Yep.
And Nunu's wave clear is a big part of that. He can't just clear everything. He doesn't have his ultimate available. Yeah. Even if he did use that, it's a big tool as well.
Yeah, I've seen some guys do it, though.
Hey, sometimes
wave clear out.
As a jungler, you need that farm.
That's true.
Got to clear it quick.
It's the right way to play the game. Take all the farm all the time. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Exactly. No matter who you are.
Yeah, that's why Kha'Zix, you should just max W, evolve it, walk up to a wave. Oh, it's mine.
Just help him clear it.
Yeah.
I'm unlocking you to roam. Let's go. Let's go bot lane.
Hey, sometimes it's the right thing to do.
99% of the time. Over, under.
Over.
100% of the time. All right, well, Lod got himself a blue buff, though. Golden Glue likely did not have that same luxury. So Lod infinite energy and lots of low cooldowns. Almost a Ruin King here.
Everybody in this game is kind of tug-of-warring each other for an advantage in their lane, and the only lane is just top lane where they've clashed. They've gone back and forth, traded kills and deaths. No dragon pressure yet, and last game we saw Coast run away with the lanes. It's not happening this game. Pro actually have an advantage in the lanes.
Well, the thing is, Coast are in a situation where I think they really want to weather the early game storm, though. Much more, though, more so than last game. Like, last game, Coast was the team with the Nidalee. Coast was the team with a Lucian with an early power spike on the Brutalizer there. And they're like, okay, push, 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 kill down turrets, do all this stuff. Here it's like, Yasuo wants a team fight, Lulu wants a team fight, Kog'Maw wants a team fight. They can kind of wait around, then it's a slower game. It gives more room for LoL Pro to make plays like this. But it might pay off. Santorin there with the ulti. Heaventime slowed down, forced to flash away while invisible. But Golden Glue still on the chase, has the knock-up available.
Santorin still looking for the bully, zoning back and forth. A low sheep in this bot lane, but the ultimates are available for both supports.
Good damage from Mash. Time Bomb is on, though. Heals used, Summon Heal especially as well, for the movement speed if nothing much else.
Here comes Santorin, though. He's coming towards that bottom lane. If they shove this wave out, they might possibly do a Dragon off.
Yeah, this is a really good play. No health, no mana, and honestly, a pretty rough spot to be in if you're LoL Pro's bot lane here. This is one of my favorite uses of Nunu, is just show up, make the push happen, and be like, come with me, we're going to kill something.
Yeah, he went and consumed and helped to clear the wave out. I think he might have actually used consume on the cannon minion so that the wave would push up.
I think it's a great choice there, and look at this Coast now with a pink ward inside the Baron pit. Heaven Time zoned off to the side. Ulti goes in. That looks like they want Gold Glue. He's actually already burned his flash, and now can they chase in any farther onto Lot? He's going to flash away as well. And Coast continue to have control over these lanes.
And the 3-man, 4-man roam here from Coast to that mid lane. Now they're going to roam towards that Dragon area. Patoy's already backed.
Yeah, looks like that window is gone, though. Patoy's got health and mana back up. He should be able to support this. Santorin just heals off the Dragon. I feel like it's still a very risky play here for Team Coast. They're going to stay just safe for now. The problem is, they sweep away the wards. 30 gold every time. There's actually 105 gold. There's no Sight Stone yet, so that's just money being lost by LoL Pro.
That actually gives Coast a time for Mash to back and get himself some items, and now he's heading back to the lane. They're kind of staggering their backs and not going for an objective just yet. The LoL Pros still have about a 400 gold lead just off of the CS of mid and top. Another duel.
Right here. Yep, Santorin again ulting for almost just the wave clear. So
hey,
you're right about that one.
Boom.
See?
Over 99.
Aiden, you're right for once. Good job. Blood Moon with the proper call on the absolute 0. And here we go. Dragon maybe attempted one more time, but the bot lane is not under control, so Zig and Patoy are unlocked to help this. Actually, they've got the shove into the bottom turret, so this is actually a bad spot for Coast. They're a bit surrounded here. You're going to see a slow on the Mash time bomb as well. And that's 5 gold over to Patoy.
And that's what wins them the fight. Scatter.
5 gold from the Spell Thief's Edge. Hard work paying off. Zig.
Everybody's being very tentative this game. They're looking for the scaling.
Well, I want to see what LoL Pro can do. They are, I know they are very, very good off early game leads. They actually are stretching a gold lead. Mid lane actually is winning in this fight a little bit. Lot is slowly stretching a gold lead here. Seeing 300 across those guys. And if Pro does get control, I know they're very good at closing out games.
600 in this top lane. Nidalee, Hanser, sitting on 2,200 gold, has his teleport available. So I think the next dragon, the first dragon that comes out, should be off of his back and a TP to it if there is a fight. I mean, I think he just wants to keep dueling Rux on the top for as long as possible.
Yeah, well, Hanser's about 300 gold from Triforce. That will be a gigantic power spike that'll make Rux's life difficult. He was now actually picked up Rod of Ages first, so a tankier build to withstand the lane bully of Hanser's Nidalee. Interesting choice. I think it's actually a very smart choice, though. Being able to handle that 1v1 for a little bit longer. See how it pays off, but Toy and Zig, they're at least treading water again in this lane. It started out so incredibly rough for them. The first few levels were brutal, early forced recall.
If you can tread water and go even with the Summer 1 and 2 series champions, you're in a good spot. You're setting yourself up for mid-game, late-game.
You are setting yourself for that, but it darn well better be LoL Pro making good moves mid-game because Coast will keep scaling up.
Yes. The fact that they have the Yasuo, they have that composition available to them, and the Kog'Maw
Nunu Cog
is big.
Yeah.
You'd have to get Lod to a point where he could blow up Mash and get out.
That's unlikely.
It is possible, though, because he does have the Assassination of Heaven at the same time. So it's a back and forth. And they do have Patoy to give them a little extra margin of error in the dive. But there are defensive options.
That's true, that's true. There's a couple of heals. You'll see a Mikhails eventually come out from Sheep. And there's that one exhaust. And
you'll see a Lulu.
That's true. If Hanser lets him out of lane, though.
Yeah. That's the big thing.
There are the elements for LoL Pro to just control this game from start to finish. We're going to see now the attempt on Dragon. Nunu being zoned out with just a couple Ice Blasts, and that is the Dragon picked up there for Team LoL Pro. Top outer turret dies as well to Hanser, and the basically laning phase so far paying off for LoL Pro.
Yeah, Hanser ended up getting that turret for himself, and he's continuing to push Rux in. This first pick, Nidalee, it's definitely showing why they put a priority on that in champions like for LoL Pro. And I think they did a much better job this game of banning and picking the champions that are problems for themselves and the other team.
Yeah, I like LoL Pro picking up a lot more early game, really. It's just the fact that they do just play so darn well off of leads, set yourselves up for the landing phase leads, and then capitalize on that with your team's skill at shot calling. So right now, it's a 2,000 gold lead for LoL Pro, a much, much improved team from game 1.
Yeah, funny thing too is actually Zed has a lot of wave clear in his kit.
Yeah.
you don't usually think of him as a wave clear type champion, but he can put his shadow out there, and then he can use his E and Q, and he's fine. Doesn't even put himself at risk as it. So he does it. It
does make you choose which Zed you use, though, because he does put up so darn much pressure as a one-on-one split pusher that there's, I said at the very beginning, there's a lot of weight on Lod's shoulder.
Santorin off on the side here.
Got spotted barely. Haunter's going to run away. Now can Rux set this one up, puts another help picks down. That will be a glitter lance that hits Santorin, now going to be in range. Flash slows. Can Haunter make his way out? Those pounce cooldowns are coming up. Santorin with another slow right here.
He has his ulti.
Red buff, not quite going to land. Good jump away, but Haunter stays safe. 2 ultis burned by Coast for basically nothing.
Yeah, and they both flashed. Not Rux, though. Rux still has his. Lod was looking for a roam top. Golden Glue still on his way to try and counter it, but it looks like it's just going to be him returning back to the mid lane.
That one's not quite going to work, but it's okay.
Yeah, they're trying to shut down Haunter.
Yeah.
He's continuing to push. He's going to continue to be a problem.
Well, the weird thing for me, though, is how late they tried to deal with him, though, because at this point, just screw it and wave clear against him, and you'll eventually outscale being a Lulu. Who really cares at this point? The fact that they're going for him after the Triforce, now that Nidalee's power spiked up, is a really weird timing to go for those ganks.
Well, also at the same time, Rux doesn't have a Chalice or a Mana regen item. He has 2 Dorans to try and cover that, so his wave clear is actually quite limited in terms of time.
Potentially.
And Nidalee's is free when she's in melee range, which you will be of those creeps.
We'll see how this battle turns out, though. Haunter's still wave clearing for free under his turret. But I like the Santorin showing up with Rux just to push the lane, and they know Haunter's basically out of mana. Heaven Time coming as well. A ward will spot his roam, but this could be top lane getting defended. Okay.
That's going to prompt them to go bottom here for Coast, and that leaves Lod in the mid lane to shove the wave as quickly as possible and start getting damage onto this turret. He has the Blade of the Ruined King and Brutalizer. He's actually going to do some decent damage to this turret based off the attack speed.
Really good stuff then by Lod here. LawPro just looking so darn better in this game. They've bounced back nicely. They're changing champions, they're changing play style, going well for them. 2,500 gold lead. Mid lane turret very low on health. Lod continues to be up 17 minions on this matchup. It's a great place to be. Top lane also pushing farther and farther ahead, 172 CS in this Nidalee. Zig, though, is having a rough time down here. Mash has been really just not stopped entirely, so this COG will be gigantic before too long.
And the Glacial Shroud here for Haunter. Looks like he's going to go for a Frozen Heart to deal with the Yasuo attack and the Kog'Maw for late game. So he's already looking to scale and have defensive options against them. He's not going to go against Rux in his build.
Yeah, I think it's the right choice, though. You know you've got to get out of your lane at some point and transition your lead into something else.
Yeah, it's exactly right. He's not building to counter Rux, he's building to counter the entire composition.
He's building to win the game, not just the lane.
He's already winning the lane pretty hard, too.
Right. Doesn't need the help exactly, to be completely fair. Let's see what else Haunter can do then in this game, because I think it's on him and Lod right here. Those are the 2 guys who are winning their lanes. See what else they can do. Heaven Time making his way around. No deaths just yet. Santorin in the top lane, though. Great knock-up in from Lulu. Rux and Haunter in the battle. Who's going to do more damage? Haunter's got to be pretty careful, though. Full channel absolute 0. Goes for the engage, but Rux taking him down with Santorin. Now 2-1 for Team Coast.
Yeah, and that's a great gank from Santorin into the top lane. We saw Golden Glue and Lod kind of faint towards that top side there. And that's exactly what LawPro don't want. They don't want their Nidalee to be shut down and that top turret to be pushed, but Santorin's equalizing it. And Heaven Time hasn't taken advantage off this. He hasn't just shoved down the bot lane or wave cleared it, and taken the turret.
Heaven Time's even getting out CS'd by Santorin's Nunu there, which to me is a little bit surprising. I know it's kind of like a partially fake stat for the jungle, but still, we've just basically seen more happen from Nunu, and here it comes. The attempt for the bot lane goes right in for Sheep. Summoner heal used. The flash already down. That is the kill for Heaven Time, finally making his way in.
They're going to get themselves a mid turret at the same time from Lod, and that's exactly what Heaven Time needed to do with that extra time he was bought for a 3-on-2, which was guaranteed because Santorin was just sitting top the entire time.
Well, they basically trade objectives equally then, a kill and a turret on both sides. And LawPro hold that 2,500 gold lead. Looks like they want to steal away the blue buff now. And with the recall from Match, this should be fairly safe. Heaven Time will get that for himself. Dragon still in 45 seconds. That was plenty of time for LawPro to set back up here. And we can see they've done a pretty darn good job of ward control. No Sightstone, but still good wards.
And the sweeping lens. Clear that vision out. Santorin trying to get dominance of this dragon area and edge their way in without checking Fog of War.
Let's see. So far, Coast are being fairly safe on this one. 3,000 good puts LoL up, and look at that, both Trinity Forces are done, plus Sork shoes for Signature. So he is kind of as spiked as you get on Corki right now. A little bit more powerful than Mash will be. And LoL are up in gold as well. Looks like they should be able to kite this out pretty nicely. Lot also very powerful with Yomu's done. I think Coast has to be very afraid of this Dragonfly, but Golden Glue goes in. There's a knockup. There's the crush on a Patoy. What an engage from Coast.
Couldn't even use his ultimate there on himself. Patoy, no time warp.
Out of nowhere, the ulti from Rux was massive. It's going to win in this fight. They're going to take down the Dragon in no time flat. That is picked up beautiful by Coast. TP from Rux to go back to the top lane, and will he even lose much for it? Looks like not.
Able to TP back into the top lane and stop the siege, but in the mid lane, it is going to be both Heaven Time and Lod continuing to push that out.
Now that AD caster combo just crushing mid lane tier 2 turret. Hanser also pushing Rux around the map. I gotta say, better than I expected. LoL, despite losing Dragon, still keep it within 1,500 gold.
These guys aren't really fighting each other in team fights. They're trading objectives across the map saying, let's just see who can trade better. And on that one, on the overall, it does go over to Coast. Well, LoL, they still have some left in them here. Oh, Heaven Time spotted.
He's got to be pretty careful on this one. Santorin going in for this one. Mash getting a couple reveals down. Pink Ward goes. There's the absolute zero as well. And Tidal Wave, they will take him down with the ulti, but he's getting revived now by Patoy. In comes the Zed. Golden Glue flashes out. Really big damage comes in as Yasuo does fall, though. And this is a fight that LoL so far are winning 2-0.
The Chrono Shift came out, and they still want more. Lod.
Wow, Mash under his turret, in comes Zig, there's the kill walking away, Ice Blast comes by, Zig still alive though. Now Santorin is stuck, Mash is going to take Zig down from beyond the grave, Patoy holds turret aggro, one more shot, he's going to walk out, beautiful dive from LoL.
Well, they weren't fighting each other before, but now they are. The teleports from the top laners make them non-factors in these, and that's going to be a big advantage here for LoL because they're going to push this turret as well.
It's going to be a whole lot of gold swung their way, it's already 3,500, it's going to be a bit more when this turret goes down. And you're seeing this mid-game power. Corki doing plenty. Zed, Lod doing a whole crap ton himself.
Yeah, Lod getting that Zed. Talked about how it's a highlight reel for him. He burst down Golden Glue through an exhaust. And we're going to see it again here. Heaven Time caught out of position off that ward that Santorin placed. And they continue to get him. He's revealed. He ends up getting the Chrono Shift on him. And the Yasuo ulti is used basically for nothing there. And the burst on the death mark, even through the exhaust, because both Lod and Golden Glue got exhausted, but it just wasn't enough. And both top laners are actually dead as we come out of that replay.
Wow, so those guys traded kills a little while ago, but it's still this 3,500 gold lead for LoL, who have fixed their issues in Game 2 quite nicely. And now can they keep this dominance going? Signature has finally equalized CS against Mash's Corki. With all the global gold they've gotten, it means he is ahead. Blade of the Ruin King coming before too long for this Corki.
He's going for that item second. Trying to chunk down the tanky members of the team.
Yeah, you got a bunch of bonus health. You got a Nunu in there. Ruin King's perfect for this.
LoL's actually pushing up. They're getting some good wards inside of the right side jungle of Coast. And they might look to just split push with Lod in the bot lane and then transition over to that lane. Push mid, push bottom, get tier 2 bot. That looks like the battle plan here for LoL. And they're going to have complete coverage of the rotations from Coast throughout this area.
Yeah. LoL doing a great job buying their wards. You can see 4 members of the team have wards in inventory. These guys know how much the vision control matters here.
It's a 1-3-1. The entire time Hanser's going to continue to split push the top lane. He does have his teleport available to him, and that creates a gap for them because Rux has to be in these fights from the get-go. Yeah,
well, Hanser, Frozen Heart, and Ninja Tabby very much focused on mitigating physical damage. He knows what this comp is about. The team's going to run away, and they do get out from the tidal wave, so no engage for Golden Glue.
Hanser's going to keep pushing top.
It's a great choice from top lane tier 2, going to be taking plenty of damage there with just the Triforce for the siege power. He's got wards for himself as well. That turret's going to be dropping here. LoL with the double split push working beautifully.
Yeah, because they have that teleport advantage and that little window for them over Rux. Hanser, he's actually creating, despite his score 2 and 3, a ton of pressure on this map with that 70 CS and those 2 turrets in the top lane that he's taken solo.
70 CS up on Rux. Hanser, the first pick in Italy, doing exactly what he needed to do. We saw one gank come out from Santorin to try to take him down, but it was way too little too late. You're seeing Hanser just crush everything about that matchup.
And here's the thing, is when you play against the composition that has another top laner that is very crucial to team fights, if you play a split pusher against that, you occupy that crucial top laner.
That's the battle, is can you unlock the lane in time? Can you TP out and win the fight before you lose too much? Can you force them to bring their split push into the team fight? Right now, Coast are not forcing 5-on-5 engages. They're not forcing Haunter's hand, and this allows that split push obvious one-on-one lead to keep working for LoL Pro.
I think they're just trying to disengage it. Every time Coast tries to run up and engage them, because what is their engage? It's a tidal wave last breath. Nunu's going to walk up to you, waddle up to you, hopefully close that movement speed just off of that. But they have a toy.
Yeah. That's one of the weaknesses of playing really no hard engage. The way you get in, Rux ults you.
Yeah.
And when he did it, it worked out, but he's been locked in. You've got Nunu who can't start fights, Nami who very difficultly tries to start fights, and lack of hard engage means you get split pushed on all game.
It's working out perfectly here for LoL Pro because of the composition that they selected for themselves up against the type of comp that Coast has, but they've also played the objectives just slightly better multiple times, and it's created big leads for them off the solo play of Haunter up top too.
Yep. So now 5,000 gold. LoL Pro, 26.5 minutes in. Haunter sees Rux. He says, hey, Lulu, check yourself.
Here's the thing, is Haunter's going to have nothing to do with this fight. He's like, I'm going to go disregard Lulu, acquire turrets. But rest of the team has something to say about that.
Well, here's the attempt. Rux moving on in. Haunter's got to be a little bit careful on this one. 1v3, gets away completely clean. Lot is still split pushing the bot lane.
1-3-1.
LoL Pro doing great with the 1-3-1.
It's a great strategy for them. It's definitely working out. They picked themselves a good split push mid laner so they can pull this strategy off.
And look how self-sufficient
Zig
and Batoy are.
It's a Baron.
Oh my gosh, the Baron rush for Coast. They are rushing down as fast as they can. Coast realizes they cannot take this down. The ward coverage is too good. And you're seeing now how desperate the plays are for Coast.
They threw last time off of a Baron call against Team 8.
Yeah.
Their Baron calls have been quite questionable, but as we saw that one right there, it looked like a pretty good one. But they just couldn't execute the Baron fast enough.
And the thing is, they're doing it much better though as well. They've got really good ward coverage down so that you always know if they're gonna stab you, walk right back out, no big difficulties. Coast have low risk Baron attempts. The problem is they're in a way running out of time.
Yes.
They're getting split pushed down. Turrets are slowly falling here. 5 turrets to 2. Another Dragon as well goes to LoL Pro. And that is gold that's going to keep accruing. So now 6,000 gold in the lead.
Yeah, they got themselves that Dragon on LoL Pro side. And a big thing here too is that Mash hasn't really been, you talk about unlocking players, he hasn't been unlocked.
No.
They haven't gotten gold funneled into him in this game. He's got the Blood Boil on him. He's got some assistance. But none of the players on Coast have really been opened up to succeed this game.
Yeah, Mash right now is just sort of stuck in a cellar, hoping he can get kind of up the staircase, out the door, in there dealing damage. Rune King's going to come out eventually, but I mean, that's not even going to do very much damage against this team that's building resists, not health, or squishy high burst, not health either. So I just want to know what these guys can actually do when they get into team fights right here.
So some strategy going down, but I want to talk about something really quick. If you look at the skills in the bottom left corner of the screen, Heaven Time, he maxed his E second.
Interesting.
He put 2 points into his Q. And I was actually having a conversation with LoL Pro beforehand, and their manager was saying, you max your W, you put 2 points into your E between before level 11,
okay,
and then you go back to maxing your Q. But instead, Heaven Time's like, no, I'm going to go all the way. Reduce your cooldown on your E. It also increases the damage of it, so it's more damage when you get resets in team fights. And he's not going to have isolated targets because they're trying to group up for these fights on Coast side.
It's an interesting situation. I mean, one point I was trying to think about was when they were doing the 1-3-1 so heavily, you saw Heaven Time, Signature, and Batoy are all very good at getting away from things. Max Sleep could be a part of that, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it's just a safe 3-man group with great wave clear, or at least reasonable wave clear for a 3-man team, and 2 unkillable split pushers, 2 uncatchable split pushers. LoL Pro up 6,000 gold now, playing the same game plan for 30 minutes.
Oh, and here's the thing too, is every time you put a point in Q, it only increases the damage by, I think, 25 per rank. It relies a lot on the isolation damage and your AD ratio.
And his job is not to be an assassin, it's to kill minions off and hold the line. Mash, though, wants Zig, you can see, forcing him away. That Kog'Maw is doing some real damage just by having the same build as Corki.
Yeah. And man, just the pressure that LoL Pro is creating without getting caught out, because there's no hard engage here from Coast. They're kind of running around trying to catch people with movement speed increases, but it's not working out.
So let's keep track of the wards then, because this feels like how the match is going to break, is if Coast can create a blank spot, get themselves in, or if LoL Pro can say, by the way, we're doing Baron, you don't know about it. There are still wards around Baron for Coast, but only a few in that upper jungle. Eastern side is actually pretty locked down. Ooh, blue goes to Zig.
Hey.
So you can see the jungle still being owned by LoL Pro as well.
Corkies get away with a lot of blues here from Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
I love
that. They're going for a catch on the Sheep.
Sheep's got almost nowhere to go. He does flash away a good bubble as well. One hit from Dead, heals himself. Vlad's going to get that one anyway. 300 gold goes in. Not even an assist from Heaven Time. And now warding's going to be real hard for Coast.
Sheep had a really good game last game. He didn't die at all, highest kill participation, but the big thing was that he was very slippery and he was able to get out, but he was focused every time. This time, with mobile assassins, not a Rise, mobile assassins, they're able to pick Sheep off and get out, and they just got rid of the source of the wards, and they have no vision here. Santorin is going to have to put himself at risk, and it might be gone before he puts one over.
They get the reveal down. Looks like they see Baron at half HP, and with a new threat, it's going to be LoL Pro backing off. Great harass from Mash. They actually want in on this one. It's a 4-on-3, though. And LoL Pro gives them the respect.
Now, Hauntzer's channeling his back. Goes back, gets himself the pieces of a Warden's Mail. He's going to go back to split pushing now. They just have so much pressure in multiple lanes here from LoL Pro.
I love how little Hauntzer's had to itemize against his lane opponent.
Yeah.
Trinity Force, okay, sure. Hex Drinker is his anti-Lulu item, and Rux just cannot handle it. At this point, I actually don't know if I do agree with Rod of Ages Zhonya's anymore. You talk about his wave clear being a bit weaker. I kind of agree. It's not like he's preventing himself from dying. His turret's going down.
Well, you're missing mana regen and cooldown reduction.
Yep.
Two very crucial stats on Lulu, especially when it comes to wave clear with glitter lances.
You're seeing it kind of hurt him there. You're seeing a 70 CS lead still held. Haunter now has the red buff, so if he wants to tower dive, that's going to be even easier for himself, although he's facing a Zhonya's, to be fair. But Rux, fairly low AP and no real multipliers for himself.
Evolving the W, people should put more value on the reveal, because it's definitely helping out in these push checks.
Looks like Coast try to get rid of Vision. They do a decent job of it, but it requires 4 people. They realize that Sheep got picked off last time, but the wards die right away.
Here's the thing. They're going to get poked down. They're going to get harassed here by missiles and also having the Void Spikes. Meanwhile, Hauntzer's going to continue to push the bottom. He's 2 levels up on Rux right now. He's ready to start pushing these turrets.
Ooh, engage almost gets found. One thing to keep in mind, though, is there's a giant
power spike. That could have been a really good engage there.
It was close.
If Golden Glue had taken that at the same time, we did see Mash come around the side. So it looked like it could have been real good for them.
And the thing is, teamfights will be good for Coast. Mash is going to do reasonably here. He's going for a Phantom Dancer third there, plus the Blood Boil will be a lot of auto attacks. You've also got the teamfight build for Yasuo. Eye-Edge and Shiv are already done, so he's going to destroy people he gets to. Just as long as they can exhaust Slide, which is down to be fair right now, and get a decent ultimate, they can win a 5-on-5 or a 4-on-4.
Yeah, here's the thing is there's 7,000 gold down on Coast side, but with a proper flank from Haunter, they could turn this entire thing around by blowing up a crucial target early on.
Here it is right now. Haunter wants to go in. Heaven Time takes a bomb to the face, and can they make this engage? Santorin wants to zone the team back. He's going to run away now.
He landed a spear.
Bit of damage comes through. Will Haunter dive this one?
No, he's not going to go for it.
Not trying too hard. This patience from Team LoL Pro. They know the split push game is working. 7,000 gold up. Now mid lane being pushed in, and LoL Pro have the inside track. Coast cannot easily defend this.
Oh, he stopped the backs too. Haunter forcing Santorin and Rux, Santorin and Sheep actually, to continue walking back.
But now look how far back Coast are. LoL Pro can once again try to take down Baron. Santorin's incredibly low on health, forced to recall now. Maybe heal up on the fountain, but LoL Pro, now they're almost too hesitant here. They've got advantage they can take, and they're waiting a really long time now.
They cleared out the vision. They got the red buff for signature. It looks like Coast, they're not going to push down the mid wave. They're going to make it go to the turret.
Oh, wow.
Go to the Baron.
So look at that. Nothing really gained by LoL Pro, and Coast are right back in this again. And if they actually play the team fight game, that is in Coast's favor. LoL Pro stop the split push. They can't get inhibs.
Here's the thing, they're going to go straight for the Dragon here on Coast side, and it isn't actually going to end up being a noob trap because they're going to leave Santorin near the Baron, actually.
Wow, so LoL Pro, despite being the advantage team, somehow gives away a Dragon to Team Coast by being honestly too patient now in this game. The flank almost worked, they didn't chase it down, but then they lost control of the bottom side of the map. Dragon will bring Coast back to a 6,000 gold game, and this is a team fighting team that does outskill. You have to respect this.
And now the back's coming out for Coast, making about a 6,000 gold lead for LoL Pro. And just the vision control is going to be so crucial in these next couple of moments. Can LoL Pro continue their split push? Can they get themselves a Baron off of it? Or can Coast find the team fight that they need?
There's one thing that's really big, actually, is even though Coast could like the team fight, Lod now has Quicksilver Sash, meaning he can drop the exhaust and get full damage down. Mash is not very self-sufficient in surviving a Zed all-in. Level 18 Zed can completely destroy this rather squishy Kog'Maw.
Speaking of squishy members, though, Golden Glue, he went for a Bloodthirster to get himself an extra shield.
I like it. It's a team fight build. Golden Glue knows they're going to win by taking a 5-on-5. He won't win the 1-on-1 against Lod. He's not even trying to. He's like, look, 5-on-5, I'm going to one-shot somebody. Zig's going down. That's all he's going for, and he needs to.
1-3-1 split push coming out again, and they're leaving Patoy. Get rid of the vision, place down his own, and set up the members of LoL Pro for success.
Golden Glue on the chase.
Chasing
He's got
Heaven
the
Time.
knock-up. Can he get Heaven Time? Invisible. He misses it.
Ooh, they thought he went for the corner there.
That could have turned the game around.
They said
right there.
Kha'Zix's corner pocket didn't predict right. It's going to be tower damage from Lod on the top.
Wow, tenacity by Mash. He chased away a Zed that could one-shot him. Santorin, though, got to be a little bit careful. Pops Absolute Zero. Golden Glue is around for protection, but there's some guys around. No dive yet for LoL Pro.
Hanser is now pushing out this bottom wave, and he's going to require attention from Rux. Was a Void Staff. He does have blue buff, though. It'll help him a bit for the wave clear.
But here's the damage for Hanser. Rux just does not deal much meaningful damage here. And the rest of the team is, of course, holding the mid. Wow, look at that burst from Hanser. Rux at half HP already.
And at the same time, Lod is going to go up top. The shot calling of Coast needs to be perfect right now. Same with LoL Pro. They have to avoid the fights.
You can just see how scared LoL Pro rightly is of Golden Glue. When that circle of wind surrounds him, you know Yasuo can set up his own ultimate, and they all run away immediately.
And the Steel Tempest being charged up is just such a big zoning tool.
Yep. If he hits you, that is a whole bunch of damage to your face that LoL Pro cannot tank. They have one armor tank, and he's in the other lane.
And this is the thing is, Lod, he keeps clearing the top wave, and if nobody comes to answer it, he'll go get turret damage, but he walks into the jungle by his pink ward, so he knows nobody sees where he is. Every time.
It allows him to go mid and counterattack. They know someone has to react to top lane turret. If they don't, he gets the turret. If they do, he gets the team fight.
Yeah. So he keeps walking to safe areas for him, but there's no more safety in this top lane.
Wow. LoL Pro gave up a little bit of pressure, and Coast actually were able to face check into the jungle and clear out a couple of brushes. LoL Pro now are winning on this one, and they find Santorin. He might have to flash the
Lod
wall.
over the wall.
A little bit of slows. There comes Lod, half HP Santorin.
Hanser on the other side. Just the collapse here.
You can see the respect still there.
Not finding the flank, though, from LoL Pro's area.
Problem is, the longer they wait, the better this goes for Team Coast. Split Push has not gotten a turret or a meaningful objective in like 7 to 8 minutes now. The last dragon went to Coast. No turrets have
Duel
died
up top.
forever. There's the battle. Lod does not cleanse the exhaust. He gets knocked up by Golden Glue and gets absolutely crushed. Misplay by Lod.
Wow, so he ends up using all of his activatable items, but he still gets knocked up and destroyed. He doesn't even flash.
Yeah, late QSS doesn't flash the knockup. Golden Glue burned everything to make that fight happen. That can't happen from Lod.
It's pretty much, he outplayed himself in every regard there.
Yes. And now here's the pressure for Baron. 5v4. Team wants the team, but Absolute Zero zones them out. They're going to push down on the Patoy. A lot of slows. Tidal is going to come in. Does not quite get anything, but now a two-man glitter lance, and they're going to keep going. Santorin leads the charge. Patoy forced to self-revive, but he's going to go down when he comes back up. Signature is around. Heaven Time has to jump away as well. Now, what else can they chase? That is now a dead Zillion of Patoy. The knockup. They get another one. Golden Glue cannot go down. He trades 1 for 1 with Heaven Time. Only Hanser alive. And Santorin going to make the dive on in. Mash gets the kill. That is an ace for Team Coast.
That's exactly what they needed. They needed the pick and then the follow-up team fight. That's going to be a Baron and getting Coast back into this game.
I'm actually not sure it can quite be a Baron. The health bar is so darn low. Santorin better tanked as well. There's the shield. All right, they're going to be fine now. It's going to go drop down. Only Lod alive for 30 seconds. He's not even going to try.
Coast just capitalized off of the mistakes of LoL Pro. One mistake is all it took for Coast to capitalize and get that team fight, and the Baron.
Okay, Lod might try.
Big gold swing.
W flash, do it. What a pansy. I would have.
You would have
The
died,
chance
too.
at a triple kill, I think, was too great there.
You would have died, too.
But it would have been an inhibitor.
this fight, just trailing off. The fact it's a 4-on-5, they're just trying to disengage it. LoL Pro had been successfully disengaging fights all game, but here's the thing, Rux is in this fight now. Santorin has the Wild Growth on him, which slows everybody around him. So he's slowing down Hanser, he's slowing down Patoy. Patoy gets taken out here, and Golden Glue, he has his last breath back, even after his duel. The fact that it's rank 3 reduced the cooldown drastically, and it's only, on the overall, a 1 for 5.
Yep. And such a massive fight now for Team Coast. That puts them now within 3,000 gold. And LoL Pro, we said it, they were too patient. The split push stalled out. They didn't risk a Baron pretty much ever. They gave up Dragon Control. They gave up Ward Control. Coast got the team fight they wanted. They got the duel they wanted. And Coast are right back in this game now.
And the fact that they have these temporary combat stats for the Baron, they also are going to get this Dragon. This will put them in pretty much the same combat effectiveness as LoL Pro.
Yep. But even more so the fact that you can't really split push against this now. Golden Glue wants in. Zig's got to be careful. Does not land the knockup, though. Flashes over, though, off a bubble. Looks like Patoy has got to go down. Golden Glue has picked up the kill credit on this one, and Coast aren't done.
It's the Golden Glue assassin that we were talking about, but he's really an assassin team fighter. Ton of brawling potential. But look at this lot. He's going to try to push that top lane and trade for an inhibitor turret, but they might lose their own at the same time.
This is going to be an interesting battle right now. Lod making the right choice. Great tidal wave to block some of the harass, and an inhibitor turret might go down. Heaven Time forced away by Golden Glue, who is fearless right now, 6-2-2. That is the inhibitor turret going down on both sides. Now it's Lulu trying to defend down here, but getting engaged on by Lod. That's going to be a dead Lulu inside the base as Coast are forced away. Lod making some very good plays. Oh no, good zone is by Rux, keeps him alive, and Hib goes down, and it's defended. And actually, to be honest, in that little screen down there, Lod is not done. He's going in towards the next right now. They're trying to stop the ports. That is Sheep going down. LoL Pro trying to close it out right now. Oh my god, Rux is dead, and Lod is still going. Coast have to run back. He is one turret away from the game. Here comes Hanser. Can they defend? Mash and Golden Glue are trying. They see him running back, but now both turrets are gone. This could be LoL Pro tying it back up. Can they do it? Very close to dead. Hanser is trying, and they defend it. Coast are alive.
That was so close, and now the rest of the team, they can't get into that base. They aren't going to try his little sneaky back door, but man, the pressure, the tension, the shot calling.
Here's the thing, 30 seconds of 3v3 and that base is open. Coast have to give up map control and defend that Nexus. What can LoL Pro do with that window?
So what ends up happening here is Rux goes a little hard. He gets chunked out even before the death mark. And then he Zonias the death mark, goes back to his shadow, waits for it. He gets this, he goes for the turret, but then Rux walks back up and he gets dueled by a half HP, no ultimate Zed. Flashes in,
flash engage.
Instant burst.
That was sexy.
You can't underestimate a Zed, even when he doesn't have his ultimate available.
You know what's ironic? LOD stands for Light of Day. He's playing a Shadow Assassin. Doesn't make any sense. Actually, to be fair, you can't have shadows without light, so I understand.
Boom.
Yep, I schooled myself.
You're just like LoL Pro a couple minutes ago where you outplayed yourself.
That's true. But now this game is rather close.
Yes, it is extremely close between these two teams. Inhibitor down in the top lane, though. Yep. So overall, that went greatly in favor of LoL Pro. They put themselves back into a situation. Coast looked like they had a hold on the game. But then LoD with the split push and the late answer and the duel from Rux not coming up, they end up putting themselves back in the hole.
Any fight that LoL Pro wins the game. There is no way Coast holds on if they screw up here. They've got to play this perfectly now from Team Coast. Down about 3K. Baron's gone. They can rely on Mash, who's a QSS, which is a good choice to stay alive against LoD, but one wrong move costs them the game here.
Avoiding the split push is what Coast wants to do, but avoiding the team fights is what LoL Pro wants to do, and LoL Pro, they're pushing the top lane again.
It's a good choice, man. You apply at this place that says, we win the game if you don't deal with me. LoD will require defensive attention. As his mid lane slowly gets Siege Jam, looks like only one auto attack. Valkyrie's away. It's all he needs. Every wave, one Trinity Force auto.
Oh, the duel.
LoD running away from Golden Glue.
Hasn't used his ultimate yet, I believe.
That is the flash from Golden Glue down, just for the shadow.
Golden Glue used his, though.
Exactly.
Golden Glue got into that fight with a flash and an ultimate, and Laud, on the other hand,
got away.
Got away. He does have an IE, too.
Yep. He is going to destroy people in a battle.
He's looking for the one-on-one. He wants to one-on-one anybody but Golden Glue. Golden Glue, he might be able to come out on top.
It's got to be an outplay, though. It's a tough one.
Exactly. You have to have perfect management of your flash. You have to make sure you don't get last breathed, and then Laud might come out on top. But there is a GA on Golden Glue, so he would stall long enough for his team to reinforce. Yeah,
Golden Glue's tanky enough, and especially that passive giving him double crit. He just has such crazy good auto attack DPS. That's going to be very hard to deal with from Laud. Down goes the red buff. 1,200 damage crits. Eye-Edge Zed does a little bit of damage.
Man, there have just been so many close-to-death Nexuses or just backdoors happening today. It's Backdoor Saturday.
It is Backdoor Saturday. Peke would be proud. Let's see what happens. 3,000 gold still separates. At this point, the number doesn't really even matter. It's still LoL Pro, one team fight away from victory. Coast, they honestly, I feel like they need at least two. Because even if they win an ace right here, I think the best they get is Inhibitor and Baron. I don't think they can quite close the game when their lanes are this pushed in. And the fact that they have to play so scared, it'll take Coast a long time of pushing their wards out and getting control to let them play near the river. That bot lane is so solitary. You know it's so far away from all the objectives you care about. Top lane Inhibitor, Baron. If you don't have TP, you're not showing up there.
Yeah. Speaking of Baron, though, it's back up. And now the Baron dance begins. There is an exposed Inhibitor up top. It's kind of hard to reach when the rest of the team of Coast is going to be sitting around this Baron area.
Well, they're going to try their hand at this. Coast still wants the team fight. This is what their comp is about, is these great 5-on-5s.
Coast can't really go for a Baron here, because if they do, they have a naked Nexus, and you know that Laud is going to get into that base as quickly as he possibly can by split pushing.
Yeah.
And if a minion makes it close enough, Hanser will TP.
And Laud has like 400 attack damage right now, and a lot. Ooh, nice steal there by Zig. But it's a 400 attack damage Youmuu's Ghost Blade set. He will destroy structures.
Nash looking for the slows.
Wow, he's getting some decent damage down. A lot of fear there.
Yep, Toy's actually back in the base, and he's trying to get himself up there. Laud versus Golden Glue.
Better wards for Golden, though. Laud actually. So here's the thing, though, is LoL Pro have so many people on full item slots and only one Sightstone. Ward control is actually really hard for LoL Pro. They have so few wards actually out. Getting pinks is not an option for some of these members on the team, which means Vision's kind of shrinking. Coast can make the outplays because they're behind, as weird as that sounds.
The AoE slows coming down still. Clearing the Baron pit, and they're going to start it.
Wow, they're just trying right now. They see that Hanser's in the bot lane. TP already used. That's going to be teleport advantage now for Rux, but a 5-on-5 is all they want. They just want to wait for this one.
Baron,
there's the windfall up. It's the smite. It's taken up by Santorin, and the battle begins. Heaven Time already forced to revive. The battle continues. He's going to go down, though. 1-0 for Coast so far with the Baron buff. And now it's going to be the recall quickly for Yasuo. They see that Zed is heading top lane. The recall stopped. This could be Laud closing the game out. Can they close the gates? Coast trying to stop LoL Pro. Only Lulu gets back. Can she stop Zed? Mash chased by Hanser. In comes Batoy, the flash, and you can see on their faces they're trying to make sure this can happen, but the dive is still happening. You've got Signature getting chased down. Golden Glue trying to make this happen now as well. LoL Pro are losing members, but Laud is still in the base. He's trying to take down Rux. He's trying to take down the Nexus itself, and Coast are still running back for the defense, but can it go down in time? 800 health on Zed. The shadow comes out. He picks up Rux. He's 6 attacks from the Nexus. Santorin comes in, and that's the game. LoL Pro bring it back 1-1.
Laud, you can see him jumping up out of his seat. An Ice Blast would have killed him there. He is so happy for his team right now. LoL Pro bringing it back off of the split push and making the absolute best of the worst situation at the Baron.
And there's that Laud Zed we were expecting all throughout the weekend. Pulled bans earlier on in the quarterfinals. You can see why just now. He won that game for his team. Flat out.
I don't think he's getting that champion again. That was...
I doubt it.
He dueled Rux multiple times, blew him up there. Fractions of HP left for him, about 1/10.
Yep.
He goes in onto Rux. That's the second time he did that.
Yeah.
And Rux didn't learn not to be even near him.
I mean, you've got to. Your Nexus is dying. What else are you going to do except for try? The rest of the team stopped their recalls in time. Yeah. Only Lulu got out. We saw from last time she couldn't win the duel. But the LoD split push, the Zed split push, man, he picked his fight so well. He knew what to do. That's all I can say. His instincts were on point. His fights were good, aside from the one he lost to Yasuo.
Yeah. But this is a prime example of playing to your win conditions for champion select. And I absolutely love this display from both teams because they went back and forth.
But the question, though, still stands. What can LoL Pro do without miracle plays like that? It's a best of 5. They need 2 more games here. Game 1 honestly wasn't even close. Game 2, they had the lane lead. They did the 1-3-1, and it stalled out. They gave Baron away to Coast twice. They gave fights away multiple times. And it was off of miracle plays by LoD that got them in. This is scary if you're LoL Pro, honestly.
Yeah, LoD, we always say it all the time. He's pretty much the best thing that could have happened to LoL Pro is moving him to mid.
Yeah.
Because they really just became a team that was on everybody's radar after that.
Yep. And now we're tied 1-1 in best of 5. Now, only one of these teams makes the promo tournament. Whoever takes the next 2 Nexus does so. We're basically down to a best of 3 at this point, if you want to consider it that way. Teams have learned things about each other. They realize that LoD is on point today. They realize that Coast, yes, they have recovered from yesterday's best of 3. Their 0-2 loss to Team 8. But keep in mind, last time they lost a game, they were shattered. And they got dominated in Game 2. How is the game-to-game adaptation for Team 8? For Team Coast? Is that going to hold up? There's a bunch of questions we have to get answered in the next game.
Yeah, we definitely have to pay a lot of attention to picks and bans and also the positioning of the players. Because Rux, this game, and a little bit of last game too, didn't look completely on point.
You're right. I don't know if it's been exactly perfect. He got caught out a bunch in Game 1. Game 2 just didn't seem to have much effect against the
First Blood.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe Rux, this is not his day, and that could be a really big problem when you want your team to go to the promo tournament. But we'll see if the other players can pick up the slack. And we're going to throw it over to the guys at the desk one more time for some breakdown.